long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long before Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we get taken and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Bulletproof, 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 Trump really bulletproof. Hey, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, we gon' make it through. Bulletproof, bulletproof, hey, bulletproof, Trump really bulletproof. Hey, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, hey, They tried to take down the dope. Had to pop back on the ops, had to break out the scope. Had to put them in a box like we packing up some dope. Ain't no way we let lefties take away our only hope. Trump 2024, he's still alive, huh? I know y'all mad, live tears, wanna cry, huh? The government gave me cancer, that's no surprise, huh? Looking like they don't want me and Trump to survive, huh? Yeah, MAGA mindset to the max and I'm back. No Amber Rose clout, but I'm still bouncing back. Boy, Trump bulletproof, better duck when we shoot. Snipers on the roof, hotter than a cup of noodle soup. We all need the truth, lefties they about to get the boot. We don't believe in you, Demi's always lying and it's true. We all see it through, voting red, we ain't voting blue. Like a kangaroo, we got this in the bag, don't you know? Ay. Bulletproof, 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 Trump really bulletproof. Ay, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, we gon' make it through. Bulletproof, bulletproof, ay, bulletproof, Trump really bulletproof. Ay, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, ay, yeah. They wanna light the city on fire. They want us all dead, no lies. We really need God for the gods. We really need God, yeah. Lefties getting desperate and they nervous cause it's curtains. We emerging like we purging, clean them out like detergent. On the surface we ain't perfect but we learning. We all know the deep state is after us like it's urgent. I encourage every person with a purpose. Stand up for your country if you love it. What's the verdict? Where y'all at? People wanna kill Trump, they want MAGA off the map. People wanna see me sick and that's a fact. I'm too attached to the flag like a soul tie. I love my family, that's the reason I won't die. And I believe that God got us both to lead y'all. I hear your voices when I'm singing and I see y'all. For real, and that's the reason why I'm always bulletproof, 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 Trump really bulletproof. Hey, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, we gon' make it through. Bulletproof, bulletproof, hey, bulletproof, Trump really bulletproof. Hey, ain't nothing you commies can really do. If God is with us, who against us, hey, they tried to assassinate him, all cause he the man like he graduated. I can't believe this affirmation. Imagine if Trump died, man, we all be chasing that American dream, looking for hope. Fully independent on government assistance and mode. Just imagine another 4 years with your buddy Joe, completely ghost, mentally gone. Still choking on that podium pole, tripping the most. Nobody knows that it'll be toast. That'll be the end of everything, imagine it though. People think these other countries better, there's nowhere to go. Might as well strap and fight back cause you know how it goes. If they gain control, it's a rap like a present for show. Y'all better get ready for this rapture, it's coming in bulk. God's plan looking like Costco's, that ain't a joke. These demons about to catch a flame like inflation and O. And if you think living as a sinner is good, you should know. If we don't get our act together, God gon' put us on those boats that float in the lake of fire. No way I can go. I ain't tryna burn with y'all people, I need y'all to know. Thank God, we got another chance to fight back now. Another chance for us to make it. Thank you, Jesus, for all that you do. I thank God, we got Another chance to win a race now. Another chance for us to make it. I thank God we got another chance to fight back now. Another chance for us to make it. Give Jesus the praise. I thank God we got another chance to win a race now. Another chance for us to make it. Trump 2024. I thank you for all the hard times, walking me right through the fire. You're gonna turn my heart into gold. Yeah. I thank you for all the hard times, walking me right through the fire. You're gonna turn my heart into gold. Oh, MAGA.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling on this beautiful Wednesday? Actually, the day after my birthday. I've had a very interesting time with that, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But we got so much to talk about today, man. We have, Mr. Tim Walz, who is the new VP candidate or whatever for, old Camel Toe Kamala. We have JD Vance. He pulled up on these people, man, like we was in the hood, to simply ask, look, 17 days you have been, nominated, there's all type of air quotes in this world right now, nominated. And you have not even talked to the media. You have not done one interview. Yet we find that you are now paying bloggers to talk negatively about Trump and to boost you up, and you're paying for everybody who comes out and advocates for you. You are literally paying these people. You don't have a genuine situation, Miss Harris. It's really, really sad, man. Really, really sad. You got Nelly, who has been arrested at about 4 a.m. this morning, I guess in Missouri. And he was caught driving while suspended, caught driving with some X Pills. He rolling with the rollers, you know what I'm saying? He got all of this stuff with him. He got a court case for driving while suspended and all that. He's been released. He's all right. But, man, I'm like, he got a baby on the way by the beautiful Ashanti. And this is what happens, man. Sheesh, man. Leave the drugs alone. You got enough at the house where I would be at a natural high, buddy. And, of course, we got old Lil Woody back in the courtroom once again. Mister, I done told you I'm lied and lied and lied. And I done lied and I'm going to lie again. So I don't even know why y'all got me here. This dude is comedy gold. Is absolutely amazing to me, the things that he can pull off in the courtroom and not end up in court his damn self. I mean, well, he is. It's now become the trial of Woody in the YSL. So, we'll dive into all of that good stuff here. I do want to tell you guys, whoever's watching right now, thank you for watching. Pretty soon we'll be up on kick.com. I have I've actually gotten premium service for X, so we can start streaming there again, because I think we were just getting too much action, and they had to do something and charge me for the shit. But that's just the way that it goes. So without further ado, we're gonna bring up my boy, the guy that's always here. Can't get him to leave for nothing. I don't know what the hell going on, but we're gonna welcome News. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Hey, it's y'all's fault. I keep coming back and hanging around. I mean,
hey, we make it comfortable for you,
Yeah. Well, also the hostess service in this place sucks. I have to make my own coffee.
Oh, we never promised concierge.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to renegotiate the contract.
I mean, we haven't made it yet.
Oh, that's right.
Once we make it, of course, hey, things will be working. What the? Diane said it again. she butchered my name.
She what? Oh, you know what? There's got to be at least half a dozen different ways to spell the name Derek.
You know what? I'm like, she takes mine to the meat slicer every time. But we love you,
Yeah.
baby. I'm glad that you're here. You can misspell it as long as you can, know which lever to pull at the ballot box come November. That's all that matters.
Dark heck.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, look, I don't know. I might end up changing it. Might be the new move for me. But for everybody that's in here, thank you for coming. First time in, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I've been doing footwork in the streets getting subscribers. If I talk to people, I'm like, hey, I got a podcast, what maybe you don't know. Hey, go ahead and like and subscribe. You can do the same. We're gonna get out here in these streets. It's election season. And we need to actually get out here and start having conversations with people, real conversations, man. I'm not afraid. You have a lot of people out here, noobs, that's scared, man. They don't even want to have a conversation outside.
Yeah, they'd rather avoid it.
Outside of a circle of like-minded people.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I almost feel like those, the Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. Or we are. I'm not sure which, because I have a friend, I've known this girl since, my goodness, elementary school. And she lives out in Southern California, and she's definitely liberal, but she's not an idiot. And whenever we do, talk to one another, anytime I bring up something that's even the slightest bit political, she's like, nah, not gonna go to the politics conversation. She'll just cut it off. She didn't even want to do it,
Oh, yeah,
And you got people like that,
People are absolutely petrified. It's like, they don't want to. I don't know what it is. I mean, because I'm at this point in my life, I guess, where I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
If you feel a way, if you feel a way about it, man, I just have nothing for it. It just makes no sense for me to really be upset with a person with that regard, because it kind of is what it is. I mean, it's a bunch of idiots out here.
Yeah. And you know what, though? I also know people who, essentially they're never Trumpers, but these days they're just super quiet. You know what I mean? They don't want to deal with all of that, and they're the ones that they're either not going to vote, or they're going to go and they're going to vote for Trump and just keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're paying attention, and you can tell some of them are, because it used to just be, all the time, yak, 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 Democrat this, yak, 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 Democrat that. And like I say, these days, they're just, real quiet about it. They don't even want to go.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's mostly family members that I know, that are in that category.
Absolutely. It's amazing that, we have, so much division and thought process to where people are literally losing family members at this point.
Yeah, but at least I think, some of them are kind of, I wouldn't say getting red pilled, they're getting black pilled.
Yeah.
Where just they realize that the whole system is a mess, and we're kind of on the verge of some irreparable damage if we don't stop doing the same things that we're doing now. And I mean on the world stage and on the domestic stage, because it's a clear and concerted effort to destabilize every institution that this country has ever created, including people from within those institutions, and so it's really become quite a mess.
Yeah, it's actually really, really stupid at this point.
Yep. The crazy people are running the insane asylum.
Right. While I'm talking to you here, I'm actually putting in a little bit of work because I forgot to put the RTMP
Oh yeah, I saw that little error pop up over there whenever we started.
And it pissed me off. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, and that was right after you saying, "Oh man, that one was so easy." And I was like, "Oh, there you go. That's why it was easy, because you did it wrong."
Right. Yeah, I probably had to pull up a second StreamYard in order to do it, but I'll do it somewhere else where I don't have to dive into everything. But yeah, man, it was crazy as hell, man, today, because JD Vance pulled up, man. He literally pulled up on Kamala, and she rolled out,
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Here he comes.
Oh my goodness.
It's hilarious.
Wow. And what is she going to do against Trump if she's running away from Vance?
Man, so let's do it. Let's do it.
One of your favorite people, Lawrence Jones, is live in Sturgis.
Oh,
Lawrence, take it away.
Wrong one.
You have some.
Wrong one. I got plenty. We'll save that for later because this is a good one.
Okay.
That's from this morning. I was working, quote unquote, but of course, it's interesting. I know I have it. Let me see, JD Vance. Make sure, yeah, we got it, buddy. Yeah, I just didn't put it in the proper place to get it, but now it should be there. Let me
Trying
see.
to put that square peg in the round hole.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's post birthday, man. There's a lot of shit going on. So here we go.
We could be orderly, please.
Yes, ma'am. Senator, did you see the vice president?
What the hell did they think he was going to do, asking him to be orderly?
Who was they talking to?
They were talking to him.
Who?
JD.
Do you think so? I think he's too far away with the jet noise to hear anything. They had to be talking to reporters.
We could be orderly, please.
That's reporters.
Senator, did you see the vice president?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to check out my future plane, but I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris refuses. Why does she refuse to answer questions from the media? And I also thought that the press gaggle following her might get a little lonely. I at least have enough respect for you all and for the American people you report to come and talk to you and to answer some questions. And so I thought her reporters might actually benefit from that as well. So had a little bit of fun. I don't think the vice president waved at me as she drove away, but I'm glad to have done it. And I'm glad to be here in Wisconsin.
Step on it.
Persuade people to vote for us as opposed to just giving another scripted speech.
Questions? You did see the vice president.
I saw her car. I did not see the vice president. The windows are tinted.
Did you get to speak with her? You didn't get to speak with her?
I did not speak to her. No, I don't. I think she was trying to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible. A lot of the press gaggle will follow.
Do you think it's effective to essentially tail her trail the rest of this week or during this week as well?
Well, clearly we think it's effective because we're here, right? I mean, look, there are 6 or 7 states that are going to decide the entire election. We think it's important to get out there and to talk to people to make the best case that we can. And obviously there's an element of, especially local media is going to cover her because she's the vice president and the presumptive nominee. So we think it's important to have a counter narrative here, and importantly to drive home this point that she has been a dangerous radical. She has pursued very far left policies, from defunding the police to opening the American southern border to increasing the price of housing and groceries on Americans. This happened because of her policies, and I think it's important that the American people actually know that. And again, I really can't believe she's been the presumptive nominee for 17 days, and she hasn't taken a real question from reporters.
I know, right?
I'm sorry?
The governor return your phone call to the president?
He actually did, but he left me a voicemail. I think I was on the plane yesterday evening when he called me back. I haven't talked to him since.
President Trump said in Atlanta over the weekend at your joint rally that you have to work hard to define Kamala Harris. Is she harder to define than President Biden?
No, I think I think Kamala Harris is easier to define because President Biden, because there's so many absurd video clips of her saying things that are totally outside the mainstream. I mean, this is not like a person where you have to guess at what she believes. She said, I wanted to defund the police. She said, I want to give Medicare to illegal aliens. She said that she wanted to decriminalize all illegal immigration, and it's on video. So defining her is not hard, but that is the work of a campaign, right? We've got 92 days to tell the truth, the truth that Donald Trump delivered peace and prosperity, the truth that Kamala Harris has delivered an open border and rising prices. It's not a hard case to make, but it's why we do what we do.
There's been some concern that...
Yeah, he's giving them more meat than, Kamala ever could.
Yeah.
Got plenty meat on that bone, buddy. That's amazing.
And there's no teleprompter.
Donald Trump on Harris have been distracting, and there's been comments made that Republicans should focus on things like immigration and crime and the border. I'm curious what you say to critics who are worried that Trump is sort of getting out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody who could listen to President Trump over the last couple of weeks and say that he's not talking about immigration or crime or the fact that Kamala Harris's policies led to rising inflation. He's talking about all that stuff, but one of the reasons why he's been both an effective president, but a guy that a lot of Americans identify with, is, yeah, he's going to tell some jokes. He's going to mix it up from time to time. He's not going to be a boring staid American politician. He's going to be who he actually is, and I think that's the source of his success. But look, if you listen to what President Trump is saying, he is really prosecuting the case on Kamala Harris led to the open border. Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that led to skyrocketing inflation. Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that led to higher interest rates. She's done all of these things, and I think President Trump's been very on message, not just the past couple of weeks, the past couple of years.
I want to ask you about your law and order message this morning, but just to follow up, what was the message from Walz on voicemail? What was the message from Governor Walz?
Oh, I see. Well, no, I called him to congratulate him either yesterday or the day before. Sorry, time's moving.
Yeah. But he called you
yesterday, and then he just called me back. Yeah.
Did he leave a message?
Yeah, it was just, hey, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Look forward to the debate, etc.
This morning you were talking about law and order, the policy decisions. I wanted to ask you about some comments you made a couple of years ago about when Trump wins, he should get rid of all of the staff in Washington, replace him with all of our own guys, right?
Yep.
The Andrew Jackson stuff, and then the judges' rule, let them enforce it. Can you elaborate on that? And were you really talking about blatantly defying a court ruling?
I think it's about democratic accountability. I mean, look, the Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution says the president is the commander-in-chief. If, say, for example, a military general doesn't listen to the President of the United States, the President has to be able to fire that person. And that is core to what the President is able to do, and that's core to our entire constitutional system. What I said then, and I would say now, is one of the problems with the first Trump administration is you have bureaucrats who didn't listen to the people's elected president. That has to change in a second Trump administration. And look, I think you have to be willing to fire people who disobey the President of the United States. If you can't, the president isn't in charge of the government, the people aren't in charge of the government, then the bureaucrats are, and that's something I want to get rid of.
The question is not really about whether to fire people. The question is about whether, if that was blocked by the courts, if one of those moves was blocked by the courts, do you think that...
No, what I said is in the hypothetical where you have something where the president's Article 2 functions, where he is trying to fire a person in his own government, he has to be able to do that. And if the courts tried to stop him, that would actually be a constitutional crisis instigated by the courts. I don't think they would do that, though. I think most justices, most judges, even those on the left recognize the president has to be able to control who works for him in government.
Sir, Trump has spoken several times calling Kamala Harris Kamala.
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you know what that's about, and are you going to start calling her that too?
I haven't talked to him about it. I'm not planning on calling her Kamala Blah. I actually talked to the president yesterday, but we didn't talk about that. Look, I think the president, obviously, he loves to give people nicknames, and I think that he's going to keep on doing that. I would be shocked if it's the last nickname he gives her before the end of the election.
Senator, $36 million raised in 24 hours is what the Harris campaign is saying since Walz has announced.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Look, I mean, obviously, Democrats are going to raise a lot of money because they stand up for Wall Street. They stand up for the big banks. And I'm not shocked that you're going to have a lot of big money donors coming in for the Kamala Harris campaign. She was their preferred candidate. Remember, she was the candidate who encouraged and supported NAFTA. She wasn't in there when it was initially enacted, but she continued to reauthorize it and support it. That led to the decimation of a lot of manufacturing jobs, but it also made a lot of people in this country rich. So I'm not surprised that those people who benefited from her policies are giving her money. I think the question is, most Americans have not benefited from her policies. They're not going to give her vote.
I just want to ask about your accusations this morning about Walz, about the abandoning his fellow soldiers.
Yeah.
Are you basing that on anything more than a Facebook post? And how do you feel about? I mean, these are, as you know, serious accusations. As well, like, I mean, your running mate has faced similar accusations about avoiding service because of bone spurs. Do you think that is accurate and fair to for Trump to face?
Well, look, the difference, Mike, between what President Trump has said and done and what Waltz has said and done is that President Trump didn't lie, right? President Trump did not serve in the United States military. He's never claimed that he did.
Thank you. You see how they try to make something that's not the same?
Yep. And if you're medically disqualified for bone spurs, then you are medically disqualified for bone spurs. And so, I mean, that is completely out of your control.
They'll disqualify you for flat feet.
They will. They'll disqualify you for a lot of things. And I mean, in order, the Air Force is the hardest service to join, followed by the Marine Corps, followed by the Navy, followed by the Army.
Right. Yeah, they'll let any bastard in the Army. Promise you. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because, there are some good kids that don't qualify for the other services where, the Army can cut them a break. And it's, for a lot of dudes, that's what they needed.
Yeah, for real. Right. I feel you. But the man pulled up and she refuses.
She ran away.
But she says other people are running.
Yeah. Well, that's a Democrat thing. They always accuse the other side of those things that they are doing. Confession through projection. That has been their thing from, man, the day that I was first cognizant of a Democrat and until, that's never changed.
Right. It's amazing. It is amazing. It's really amazing.
Yep. And that's why you see that played out so many times in Hollywood movies, man. You always accuse the other guy of the thing that you're doing to throw him off the trail.
Absolutely. It wasn't me. That other dude.
Mm-hmm. I would never.
Right. Like, what are you talking about, man? Oh, gosh. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I try my best to make sense of it all. And it just never makes sense. It just never makes sense. So real quick, we'll go to the video that I was accidentally about to play.
All right.
Which this was really good this morning. I woke up, you had a cup of coffee and cut on Fox and Friends, and who else but our buddy, man, our pal, Mr. President himself.
One of your favorite people, Lawrence Jones, is live in Sturgis. Lawrence, take it away. You have some people that have some questions for you.
I love that.
Mr. President, how you doing, Lawrence? Mr. President? We're live from Sturgis. Say hello to the so the people have some questions for you, Mr. President. I want to bring in Brett. He was talking about he has his daughter, his grandchildren now living with him, and you're concerned about the economy. What is your question for the former president?
MSNBC would call all of these people racist.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing. Trump is going to be live with Elon on X on Monday.
On Monday, yes.
Yeah.
We shall have that for you. That'll be a good exclusive Monday thing to do.
Yeah.
Hang out and watch that. I can't wait for a Kamala Trump debate. If it's less likely to happen than the Biden debate was.
And not unless they can figure out how to make, maybe Bob Iger's working on the Kamala Disney animatronic, robot thing, so they can just, stick a card up her butt and make her say things that make sense.
I mean, you know what it is? The problem is they don't want a crowd reaction.
They don't want her to speak in front of people.
At all.
Right.
She can't speak longer than a half hour.
Well, she can't even do a half hour. You heard that mess on the tarmac the other night during the quote-unquote prisoner exchange.
Yeah, and I tried to stomach a piece of her rally today, and I just couldn't do it. I think I got like 15 seconds in, and I was like, I quit. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Oh, and did you see that ad that Elon ran?
No, I did not. We can bring it up.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and do what you're doing there. As soon as I sit back down in front of the keyboard, I'll bring that up.
Absolutely. Let's go.
So, Mr. President, I appreciate you giving our time here. One of the big concerns is what are you going to do about bringing down the rent and things like that in the economy? Because out of 8 children that I'm a father and a stepfather to, 5 of them are struggling, and I'm giving them part of my income on a regular basis. How are you going to make the economy not just the the food and electricity, but bring down the rent prices, the housing prices, so that these kids can survive without their parents' help?
Such a good question, Mr. President.
You're right. I hear it very well. And I tell you, first of all, I love the people that you're with. I know that I must have at least 99, perhaps 100% of all of them, and I think they're incredible. We are going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring down the cost of energy. Energy is what caused the worst inflation, I think, in the history of our country. Food prices are up 50%, sometimes more. You look at bacon. Bacon is quadrupled. You can't order bacon. You can't order anything. We're living horribly. We have the worst inflation we've probably ever had in our country, and it started because of energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill, and then we're going to have China and all of these countries that were treating us good when I was there toward that. I mean, it took me a long time to get them to behave properly. All of these countries are going to, again, stop. Like 4 years ago, I could ask you, you were in great shape. You had low energy costs. You had low food costs. Everything was good. You could buy a house. You had low interest rates, 2% interest rates. You had gasoline at $1.87. Now it's $5. And by the way, going up.
Have you ever noticed that Kamala Harris doesn't even say anything about any numbers?
That's because she knows that she's going to screw them up.
She says nothing about numbers. She says nothing about the economy. Nothing worthwhile, at least. Food prices are high. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, yeah, this he's a numbers guy, and he's giving it to us. And, I guess a lot of people aren't mathematicians or, can count to 4. I don't know, on that other side.
Up and going up very substantially, but you had gasoline at $1.87 a gallon. Nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody even can believe it's going to happen. It's going to happen again. We've got to get the energy prices down, and everything else is going to be tumbling down with it, the prices, because what Biden has done to the economy is so horrible, and what he's done to inflation in our country is just very destructive.
Mr. President, it's the perfect segue. It's the perfect transition, Mr. President, because I met Linda at the airport yesterday, and when I talked to her and I said, what is the number one concern? She's concerned about Kamala Harris and her energy policy. What is your question for the former president?
Mr. President, what can we do to achieve a permanent, long-term energy solution to keep us energy independent?
Such a great question. Mr. President?
It's a great question. It's such an important question. And look, we're run by people that are not smart people, okay? Not smart people. We have more liquid gold, you've heard me say this a million times, under our feet than any other country. Russia, Saudi Arabia, you can add them all up. We have more than anybody. We were energy independent 4 years ago, and now we're begging Venezuela for oil. Venezuela, they don't even have oil. They have tar. You have to take tar, and you have to refine it. It's a terrible process. We have the best, the most beautiful, the best, highest quality oil under our feet. Texas and numerous other places. We have the best stuff. We don't use it because Biden he talks about the environment. It's amazing. They talk about the environment, and yet we refine the Venezuelan tar, okay? We refine it, and it goes up into our air. It's done in Houston, the only plant that can do it. We are going to bring the energy costs down. Everything else is going to be tumbling, and we don't need energy from any other country. We have to fill up the strategic reserves again. It's down. It's the lowest number it's ever been. He's using the strategic reserves, which is meant for military, which is meant for war and very important things. He's using it to try and keep gasoline prices down, and we can't allow that to happen. We have to fill up the strategic. I was filling that up at levels that they've never seen before. We have to fill up the strategic reserves immediately. We can't let people use that to fill the car. We will have the energy prices to a point where they're as low or lower than they were 4 years ago. But remember, I had you down to $1.87 a gallon, and that was beautiful. They were good times. Thank you.
Mr. President.
And he's not lying. Those were actually good times. I mean, I miss those days when we could ride around and, you know, just BS a little bit on the road. You better get to your destination now. You better get there. You better get there quick. You know, seriously.
It was a good time. I drive a big truck, so I remember that. Got one last question for you. A lot of folks here talking about Social Security, and this gentleman has a question on that point.
Yeah, Mr. President, a lot of seniors, their only income is Social Security. Last year, they had adjustable income of 1.2%. Meanwhile, inflation was probably 7% or higher. How about making it mandatory, whatever inflation is, that would be the income for the Social Security instead of this 1.2% pathetic adjustment?
Mr. President?
I got it. It's a great question. We can do a lot of things to help the people. People on Social Security are being killed. And one of the things I'm doing is no tax for seniors on Social Security, and I'll get it done quickly. No tax for seniors on Social Security.
Doesn't make any sense. It never makes sense to tax Social Security.
Absolutely.
Because it's a mandatory bank account. And so why are they charging seniors money to take out of their savings account when they already paid taxes to put in?
Right.
It's criminal.
1,000%. The man is on it, man. I mean, these are things that America cares about. Nobody gives a damn about the price of prescription drugs, because if you have the money, guess what? You can afford it.
Yeah. And the other piece of that is that, you know, this Yahoo that's sitting in the White House up here wants to take all of these illegals and just, you know, include them into, you know, the Medicare and the Social Security system and everything else. And so, I mean, it's already underwater. Both of these programs are underwater.
You know, and I think he's gonna get a little piece of that. Let's see.
And waitresses and everybody else out there, drivers, we're not going to have any tax on tips. No tax on tips. Remember that. No tax on tips. But we're going to have no tax for seniors on Social Security. And they are ruining, they're going to destroy Social Security because millions of people are coming onto our country and they're putting them on Social Security. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on all of our things. They're destroying it. They are destroying Social Security. We're going to make... And remember, I was there for 4 years. I didn't raise the age. They wanted to raise the age. They wanted lots of things. I said, no way. We left Social Security the way it was. Now we're doing no tax for seniors. You deserve that. We have plenty of other things. I told you about liquid gold. Yeah. We have more than anybody else. We don't have to do that. We don't have to hurt people on Social Security. So we are going to do no tax for seniors on Social Security, and also no tax on tips for the waiters that are standing right next to you.
So, Mr. President, I'm going to send it back to the couch, but the people here are going to kill me if I don't ask you. They want to know, will President Trump be at the next Sturgis right here to be with the people?
Are you ready? I love Sturgis. I love it. I love it, and I love that state. And that state, we win by so much. The answer is absolutely yes. I will be there. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Lars.
Thank you, Mr. President. Back to the couch.
That is exactly what they wanted to hear.
How would you not want a guy like that?
Right.
What the heck is wrong with people?
They're stubborn. More than anything else, they're stubborn. They can't believe that they've been duped all this time. And so now, you know, like when you catch somebody in a lie, man, they'll just double down. because, their feelings.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's hard to believe, man. And I've tried before, and to look at it from the other side, but every good reason I've ever heard, to throw in with the likes of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they're horrible. And it's always the reasons are always the same. The reasons are not about Kamala or Joe. It's always about Orange Man bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's the boogeyman in the basement, on one of the more ridiculous levels that you could ever possibly imagine. I don't even understand how people can.
Yeah. And I mean, it should be obvious to most people by now that, folks like Joe and Kamala, they're not smart enough. They're just not smart enough to go out into a free enterprise system and make the millions of dollars that they're making by stealing and scamming from the government now.
And they keep on. The only thing that they can ever say is that Trump doesn't care about you. He's all about himself.
Yep, and I can tell you, I mean, all of this crap that they're doing with Trump's court cases and everything else, it's all garbage, and we all know it. But they're just, they're taking notes, maybe. Oftentimes I give them more credit than they deserve, and I'm talking about, Democrats. But they should be taking notes on all of this legalese to protect Joe Biden's ass between the time that he leaves office and the time that he, finally pushes up daisies.
My God.
Not just him, but Jill, his crackhead son, his Secretary of State, the majority of his cabinet members. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. You think we hear about Bannon, um, you know, talking about conversations that he had with Trump, being confidential and presidential immunity and everything else because he was the president when the conversation was had, so he's not going to turn it over. Bannon and there's a couple of other folks too. One dude I think is even sitting in jail right now because he refused to reveal a conversation that he had with the president. And we are going to hear nothing but that once these Democrats get out of the White House. Because there's going to be investigation after investigation, and it's going to be mostly about money because most of them just steal money.
And that's the truth. That's a definite fact.
All this inside trading that they're doing, all this investing in companies in Ukraine, investing in new companies in China, at the same time selling contracts out from American workers to these countries that they're investing in. And then here comes Donald Trump. He's a self-made man. He didn't come into office to make, to steal money from everybody. He's already got his money.
So we got a good question coming from Twitch.
What's that?
If you look at the screen, do
I think the election will be fair? No, I do not.
It will not be fair. They're going to cheat. They've always cheated. It's kind of like, it's almost like we're watching a high school movie. This is akin to, and it's sad to say, and it's because the left has done it this way. They turned it into a high school election.
Everything that they do stinks of like a high school project. You know what I mean?
Okay, Vinny.
Yep. And this is what happens. Okay, this is what happens because look at all of these people. Look at Kamala Harris, and Booty Judge and all of those dudes. So they all grew up in an era where everybody gets a trophy. Whatever wretched piece of crap you draw on the kitchen table with your box of broken crayons gets all kinds of ranting and raving and stuck to the refrigerator, and it, and this is what happens as a result. You get these dummies who have just been passed along.
So Vinny's over here killing it. He's got great questions. And let's go ahead and respond. Second question was, if the election is rigged, then what happens? Did you see what happened in what was that in Europe?
It's going to be ugly, man.
And what happened in Venezuela and what's continuing to happen there?
I don't think it's going to be good.
It's not going to be, in my mind. I would say that it's not going to be good. They want to talk about insurrection.
Yeah,
I mean, you want to talk.
It's really hard to envision that, because
if the election is rigged and Kamala wins, God forbid, I feel like that the next American Revolution may start.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be it's not gonna be a good thing.
The next American Revolution may start. Let's see. Next question from Vinny, because he's got the good ones. If Kamala wins, do you expect more financial struggles?
Of course, because she's got nothing but air between her ears. She's not gonna do anything that is going to improve the situation for us. It might get her a few $1 million in her bank account, but it's any decision that she makes. First of all, she doesn't have the scruples to make informed decisions about the economy anyway.
Absolutely not. 100%. She's incompetent.
Yeah, and then, whatever decision that she makes is going to be something that she can in some way benefit from, her and her cronies, the people that support her.
And I like that name, Vinny. That's a cool name. I just actually really read it. I'm like, okay, Vinny Linguini Lamborghini. Yeah, that's cool shit. Let me see. If Trump wins, they will probably bring back COVID.
Yeah, I disagree with that one. It'll be something.
They would have already given it to us for real by now.
It'll be something crazier, man. I still say it's going to be aliens, but yeah, the COVID thing I think is kind of played out. So yeah, I'm guessing aliens next.
Most likely. All right, let's see. We got and of course Yellow Beezy. We just got to pray. And my man Joe Brandon, what's going on? How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Beezy, you got the link, brother?
Yeah, I sure do. I can go ahead and drop the link. Let's see.
Yes, the 2020 election was absolutely rigged.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at Pennsylvania alone, 360,000 plus that we know of illegal votes from people who are dead, votes for people who have moved, votes for people who are not in those zones where those votes were casting. It also happens to be the same state where, out on the internet where they told everybody to go home and then started pulling out these big rolling suitcases of ballots from underneath tables.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a flood. There were cardboard boxes.
Yeah. There were ballots. There were mail-in ballots. Get this. This is one of my favorite parts. There were mail-in ballots counted in Pennsylvania that had no folds in them, no creases. How do you mail a ballot in the mail-in ballot envelope without folding it?
Everybody put it in a manila top secret folder.
Yeah, that's what they did, right? In a photograph envelope, in a plastic protector.
But in Atlanta, there was a flood. There were cardboard boxes everywhere. None of the cardboard boxes were compromised. Not one wet cardboard box anywhere, man. And bullshit. When I saw that, I'm like, bull crap. And it's crazy because there is a feeling that comes over you
Yeah.
You feel like your vote wasn't counted. You know, you stood your ass out there when they told you that you shouldn't because it was COVID season. Like we said on the last live, there were so many instances where it was okay.
Mm.
It was okay to go vote. It was okay to go and riot in the streets. You know, and then they scare everybody back in the house. Oh, the COVID, there's a new strain.
Man.
Yeah.
There's a new strain.
You know what, man? It's so funny, man. People want to blame Trump for this whole COVID thing, but they don't think about how the Democrats were the one that was forcing people to stay home.
Yeah, and they're still all about it. They want that to happen again.
And
they're the same people that you see driving around in their car by themselves, still wearing a mask in 2024.
You know what? I agree with this statement right here.
Yeah,
I think that Elon Musk will and has gotten involved to make sure that it's fair.
Yep. You need to be involved.
It's got to be fair game, man. It's got to be a fair game.
Here's a question for you. You think Elon would take a cabinet position?
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Maybe like the head of NASA.
I think that Elon probably gave Aiden a discount on that car because he knew he was giving it to Trump, the one that he wrapped.
Do what now?
That Tesla, that Cybertruck that Aiden gave Trump.
Oh.
It may have been free.
Maybe.
It's crazy because I would say that Elon is an intelligent businessman. He knows that in order for Tesla to survive, he's going to need competition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's why most of these companies are trying to do electrics now.
No, but he's going to need competition. That's why he's with Donald Trump.
Yep.
Because
now a lot of the American car companies are doing their damnedest to get out of the electric vehicle business. And I mean to the tune of converting e-vehicle plants away from, back to internal combustion engine plants because they're dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, the EVs are dumb. There are a few small niches that I could see, EVs filling very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like a small fleet vehicles and that sort of thing that, have predictable, charge times and road times and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you do not want to be caught in an EV on a grapevine during the winter whenever they decided to close the road.
See, the problem is these motherfuckers are trying to be the Jetsons.
Mm-hmm.
We're not there yet, buddy.
Yeah, and it's not even that because they know as well as we do that the technology is not ready yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, here's the thing that's when it really comes down to it. This is the hard thing to beat with an electric vehicle. In your gas-powered vehicle, you have what? Somewhere between probably a 15 and 25 gallon fuel tank. Like 60% or more of the fuel that you burn in your car is just in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and the stock market, I've been seeing that too. That stock market is ridiculous.
And with electric vehicles, you have to put into that battery 100% of the energy you're going to use.
You got to charge everywhere you go.
Whereas with a gas vehicle, you only got to carry one part of your combustible material.
You just got to put in
one
gas.
portion.
You can ride out with a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, you talk about he want to ban gas cars, and he know damn well that electrics don't last.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm one lucky bastard because, truth be told, I have a tank of gas with the traveling that I do, which is very minimal. It lasts me about a week. About a week. I mean, I guess that I just don't, go and ride around because gas is too freaking high. I don't want, who wants to ride around? All I'm thinking about is money going down the tubes, and then I got to go back to the gas station to replenish that. So, imagine every day I used to drive 30 minutes back and forth to work. And, just it was okay. But it wasn't to a point where I was stressing out about it when Trump was in office. I promise you that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a time there, particularly during COVID, where it got really bad, the price of gas.
It shot up to about $6 here.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not going, I'm not going anywhere because I can't.
Yep.
I guess I'm stuck in the house.
Mm-hmm. And remember when diesel used to cost like a third of what gasoline cost?
Yeah. Yeah, diesel was super cheap. Now it's above the price of natural gas.
Yeah, on-road diesel is as much as gasoline is,
if not higher.
I stay in Los Angeles, California, the most liberalist city in the world.
Oh, San Francisco, but you're number 2.
Yeah.
Yep. I am an Indianapolis, Indiana resident.
I just wish we will have Larry Elders as our governor. Because
hey, you know what, Vinny, I'm gonna tell you something about that. It's so amazing. Like, we look for places to go where we feel comfortable talking about this, and actually, just kind of getting a fair understanding of what's going on. Like, there's been a lot of situations that's happened over the years. I'm like, am I crazy? Because everybody's, like beating me up for my mind state, man. And, and to know that it's so many people that feel the way you feel, and and it's not about just being a pro-Trumper. I'm stupid. He's never said anything dumb. He's never did a wrong thing in his life. I'm not. We're not oblivious to that over here.
Yeah, this channel is a little bit different from other places that I've been, Vinny, because a lot of channels you'll see, they'll like roll the C-SPAN video or whatever, and then there'll be like 1 or 2 guys on there, and then they'll do their reaction to that video and that sort of thing. Here we like to sit on the couch and just do the after action, like we're all sitting at a barbecue or something, bullshitting about what we saw on TV, and that's what this is.
Right now, I see what he's saying. He's like, I'm not allowed to do this. What you guys are doing because you're military.
Yep, I'm retired military,
and that sucks.
And we got a couple other folks on here who are.
I'm here. Who, buddy? Yep. For real, and I appreciate your service currently. In these times, man, and God bless you, man. I hope that you don't have to be deployed to any of this BS, man, that's going on. I really do. But like I said, it's really interesting, man, when you look at it. Look at the military. I went into the military in 1997. It was a different ball game, man. We actually were like, I was in, I did my basic in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And, it was kind of crazy because we had co-ed dormitories. The females were downstairs and we were upstairs. Interesting dynamic. Didn't work out so well. It didn't work out well at all. People got in some trouble. There were, like little relationships that jumped off people that liked each other and stuff like that. It was interesting. I mean, you're away from home. You need somebody. I mean, you got me in here with all these fucking women. What the hell? But, things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have truly changed. Yeah, pride. Man, did he just say something right there? No, and they're trying to turn it into Pride Year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're going to put a screeching halt to all that crap, too.
There are literally, Vinny, 160 days on the calendar that have some type of trans LGBTQ.
Yeah, I will say this, and this applies to more than just the alphabet, gender confused. Um, Screw the 1%. Screw their 1%, and screw the top 1% that are trying to take over and run the world. So screw the 1%. We need to stop catering to the 1%.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
yeah, these people trying to bring communism in our country. Like, man, come on.
Yep.
That's absolutely what it is, and people don't
see it. They know. And let me talk about these celebrities. These celebrities get on my last nerves. These celebrities know damn well they love Trump.
They do. I mean, Amber Rose called them out.
Yeah, they just can't say it because the powers that be, evil powers that be, silence these people.
She did that on Aiden's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy? What it starts with, of course, we had the co-ed barracks. There were some lesbians in the military and basic training, and the females were messing around. Yeah, people got in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna read out a quick public service bulletin before I forget. So I just got this from Theroin, and it says, I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe we should spread the word. It says, FYI, because we were just talking about, how are they going to cheat in this election? It says, FYI, a very reliable, good friend of mine just finished poll worker training, and she texted me this. Just finished poll manager training. I passed all the classes. I want you all to know something. If you are checking in at the polls and they happen to write anything on your ballot before they give it to you to put in the voting machine, a letter, a check mark, a star, an R or a D or writing of any kind, please request a new ballot. Your ballot could be disqualified if it is written on. Please be on the lookout for this type of behavior and pass it on.
Well, check this out. Even though I'm in Indiana, I've decided that, because he's going to win Indiana hands down. That's not a problem. I'm not worried about Indiana. But I am actually going to be a poll watcher, for one of my civic days this year for work. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Good.
Because if I see some BS, you might see me on the news.
I saw the whole thing. I'm going live right now. News, where you at?
look at this gaggle of immigrants that's trying to vote.
Yeah.
The hell is going on, man? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. And people don't see it.
Yep. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, if some shenanigans happen and they try to kick you out of there or whatever, yep. Just go ahead and set up the stream beforehand.
And leave.
Just set up the stream beforehand, so if you need it, you can just activate it.
Man, I'm like, yep, these fuckers are trying to make me leave. I don't know what they're doing. My goodness.
And Kamala, man, I don't know why she don't want to debate Trump, man.
Oh, and she ran away. I don't know if you were here for it or not, but she ran away from JD Vance today.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen on Barry Cunningham's channel.
Yeah.
I like the channel a lot though. I ain't gonna lie.
You said what?
Go ahead.
I watched the hell out of Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Barry's good. Barry predicts.
Yep.
You know what? I might have to. Well, you know what? In Middle Indiana, I might not have to. Most of the conversations that I have here, whether it's black or white, pro-Trump.
Yeah.
Pro-Trump. People like to make money in cities that are building and growing. They want to stay in their little nice suburban house. They that they're renting, and they know their rent went up $400 since COVID.
Yeah.
Craziness. I mean, craziness, absolute insanity. What had to be paid, and then you still got the people that are getting the handouts and getting, Imagine what they're doing with Section 8 right now with these migrants. They're moving in the lap of luxury.
Yep. They're putting us last. They don't give a damn.
They're making
Oh, Benny Johnson. Woo.
Benny Johnson. So yeah, I had a hard time finding this video. This is a commercial that a parody that Elon did on Kamala, and it's being removed from various places over the internet. So yeah, here, check this out. Benny's still got it on his show though.
Person as a writer, like me, to make good words for them to say.
Space is exciting. Space, it affects us all. And it connects us all.
I got that idea when I was thinking about space and how big it is. Man, it's big. It's not all fun though. Sometimes I have to write about bad stuff, like war.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
That's wrong. So basically, that's bad. Meet Kamala Harris, a 6-year-old speechwriter. This is a banger from
Betty.
When this was released in December of 2022, it got millions of views. And so Babylon Bee's right, and Kamala is beyond parody. And what they're doing right now to try and shove Kamala without doing any interviews, without doing any vetting, without getting a single vote across the finish line, based entirely on of the election cycle so far.
I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression.
So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean, Joe Biden. Do you think the country went to over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, that's brutal, man.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh, and there, I mean, you got a bunch of lefties wanting to sue Elon now and everything because he made a parody of Kamala Harris. It's like, oh, that's misinformation. No, jackass.
And it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
They know she lied. They know she lied about her race. Talking about, I make my collard greens in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah, in Canada.
I'm like,
yeah,
really?
I ain't never had, I don't know about you, but I've never had any Canadian
collard greens.
Bathtub collard
greens in the bathtub. Man.
Hey, with extra soap residue on it, please. Thank you. I need extra of that. That's what they call it, Lifebuoy soap.
And you know, black people are seeing the weird clowning the Democrats by using Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the stage and shit. They basically saying, man, just
don't even trip.
It's like just they be like, say, if Democrats is like, just shut up, get up and twerk. I brought you this concert for free. Now vote for me. So you be another 4 years of being stuck.
That's coming up is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Oh Lord.
Well, hey, I have a little bit of trivia for you, and this is right from Google's AI. So collard green growing zones are between zones 6 and 10. Guess where Canada is not?
What?
In zones 6 through 10. I think southern Canada is in zone 2.
We got NYC wise person 45, and this is a good point, and we do actually address a lot of these things as far as policies. Now, of course, we know that Kamala is a severe left winger. You know, we know that she champions abortion rights, killing babies. We know definitely.
Now, in all honesty, does anybody think that Kamala has any conviction at all for any of these policies?
No.
Or is she just going to do what Daddy Democrat tells her?
No, I totally understand, you know, that she's trying to take away Second Amendment rights. I know that she doesn't even mention numbers, so she knows nothing of the economy.
And then she got no policies. All her focus is on is the alphabet community and abortion.
Oh, and Trump is a racist. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah, he's a racist, even though he hangs around, kicks and hugs, and squeezes on black people.
Oh, wait a minute! Don't start a rumor.
Yep.
Now you know what? Let's keep it all the way 100. I watched an episode of the Wendy Williams show. I think it was yesterday. You know, with Donald Trump on there with the Celebrity Apprentice, and the crazy thing about it is, this is the absolute same person. They were cheering, clapping, loving him, wanting to be in his presence. He kissed Wendy Williams about 6 times.
You know why they went against Trump? Because Obama got in the ears of these celebrities to say he was racist.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, we talked about it before. He became racist whenever he announced his candidacy.
Mm-hmm. And then they trying to blame all the shit with Hillary's emails on him and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So I'm like, what? So I'm like, man, when will people see the BS? Because they love listening to the media.
Absolutely. So real quick, let's jump into something a little bit different. We're gonna segue a little bit because I do have some things that I do want to talk about just that has happened most recently. Nelly, okay, has been arrested early this morning. Jump into that real quick. Let's talk about that.
We're learning St. Louis native and beloved rapper Nelly is facing charges after a run-in with Highway Patrol early this morning in Maryland Heights. Our Caroline Hecker actually joins us now in the newsroom with this developing story. Caroline, do we know where the arrest took place?
We do. According to the arrest report from the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Nelly was arrested at 4:45 this morning by troopers with the gaming division at the Hollywood Casino in Maryland Heights. We know he was charged with possession of a controlled substance after troopers found 4 pills of ecstasy. He was also charged with driving without insurance. Now, after being booked by Highway Patrol, Maryland Heights Police confirming Nelly was transferred to them, where he was booked for failure to appear on an old traffic charge. Now, we have reached out.
Oh my God! RICO charges! RICO charges!
On this old traffic charge. Hey, did you get those pills from Diddy?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. He was using that car in the commission of organized crime without a license. Oh, my goodness. This has RICO written all over it.
Oh, God. Oh, did you get those pills from Diddy? Tell me. Beat the shit out of now. They released.
Yep. You know, yep. 4 pills, dude. That's racketeering. Oh my God!
I'm surprised these celebrities. And I'm surprised these celebrities.
I'm not laughing at Nelly's situation. You know,
I'm laughing that they actually charged him for that.
Oh crap! What
Seriously.
the hell? You don't know who's next or how. Does Nelly have a drug problem?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I'll bet you, I mean, unless he's broke or something like that, the dude is probably self-insured, which would explain why he didn't have, maybe a copy of his insurance or whatever. And so, that'll get thrown out as soon as he goes to court and shows him that he has a bond of like, whatever it's required in that state. It varies.
Right. It's insane. Absolutely insane. No, yeah, Joe Brandon, no freaking insurance.
Yeah, no insurance. Yeah.
no insurance. He didn't activate his State Farm. Oh
That's like breaking news.
Nelly's been locked up. Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, but the man got it all. He has a fine ass wife, well, fiance. They about to have a baby, man. This sucks. Yeah, it sucks. And we gonna get
and now they're on to him. That's the part that sucks.
This sucks. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, and I had somebody in my I was posting stuff with Trump on my story, and one guy talking about, oh, so you're gonna vote for something after Sonia Massey got shot, you want to vote for a guy that's going to give immunity? I'm like, man, you know what?
It's not immunity for shooting somebody, you idiot.
It's like they don't get it, and they talking like saying like, oh, but what was life going to be with him? Like, nigga, you don't remember?
Hey, so real quick, we got to pay homage to the gorgeous wife of fiance of Nelly, Ashanti. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet
She
a total package.
Boy, Nelly lost her and got her back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ashanti was one of my crushes.
Hey, you know what though, Joe Brandon? Was it Millie or Vanilli? I don't know. I think one of them got enough, but I don't know if it was Millie or Vanilli. I just don't know.
One of them dead though.
Yeah, the light-skinned one.
Mm-hmm. Were they gay?
Shit, they were both light skinned, weren't they?
No, one of them was dark-skinned guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them was a dark-skinned guy. Yeah.
Shit, I even remember used to listen to them on the way to the bus.
Girl, because you're on my mind. I'm thinking about you most every time. I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl.
and they got caught lip singing.
Yup, big time.
How that happened?
Hey, look, that was.
You know how that happened, don't you?
Yeah, I mean the record they had the CD skipped on their ass.
Well, yeah, but one of the people that was on the CD actually sued them.
He snitched. Yeah, he was pissed because he didn't get the fame, but he
didn't get anything. I
mean, it was something that, and I feel bad for Rob and Fab, Milli Vanilli, because they didn't have they got roped into this shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They got roped in and they took the whole hit. Like,
and let's be real, man. There are plenty of, what do you want to call them, bands, groups, or whatever from the 60s all the way through the 70s and 80s that they were there because they fit the suit.
Yeah. Can I say something? I want to respond to NYCY's person. It's so funny that when Hillary was running for president, but she didn't win. So what makes think that Kamala gonna win?
Because they're going to cheat harder. I don't think that they were prepared during the election with Trump and Hillary. They could have done more. They were not prepared for the number of people that actually voted for Trump.
Yep. And Obama gonna find a way to make sure that she get in with his.
Yep. Now, if you all remember, shortly after that election, there was an audio released of Hillary Clinton just losing her shit in the room, behind the stage whenever the election was going on and everything else. And she should have been thinking about, giving her concession speech. And she's screaming at the top of her lungs at the other people who are in the room that they needed to fix this shit right now or all of their necks were going to be in a sling. Why would somebody say that if they didn't know that they already had the hook in for the election? Because what is there to fix? There's nothing to fix unless you're already fixing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people need to really watch these polls this November, man.
Yeah, man.
They really gotta watch.
Yep.
These polls, because I'm gonna be watching it too. I'm gonna cast my vote after I, get my ID and stuff. Cast my vote that day. I hope to go in person. Don't mail me no.
You know what? I think that this is gonna be a record-breaking election.
Well, the last one was a record-breaking election. During the Biden-Trump election, Trump got more votes than any president in American history.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say that about Joe Biden because I don't believe he got those votes, and he didn't get those votes. But I mean, we all have examples of ways that we know that he did not get those votes. 81 million votes for Joe Brandon, my ass.
No, I don't think Kamala is black. I'm from California. She full of shit.
Yeah. I don't know what her daddy is. I think her daddy might have been half black or something.
Jamaican and Indian, or Irish. Jamaican and Irish.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, she's not black because Jamaicans don't identify themselves as black.
Well, right. That Jamaican is a nationality, not a race.
Yeah. So they don't consider themselves as colored people. So
absolutely not, man. It's crazy.
But they want to see. That's what the thing with the motherfuckers on the left, man. They always want to bring up race around election time. I'm like,
yeah, because that's all they got.
But it's not a coincidence that Obama is the one that's telling these people to do this type of shit, and he ain't running shit no more.
Right.
So it's like his ego, he cannot let go of
that. Is he? Or is he? Because we know, everybody know, the Democrats know, the independents and the Republicans know, and even people who don't know what the hell they all know that Joe Biden ain't running nothing right now. And he ain't been running nothing for a long time. So who running it? Dumb Kamala? No.
Ain't nobody want Kamala. Nobody's not gonna want Kamala as president because Republicans and Democrats, independent or whatever, they probably know Donald Trump. He know how to handle the stock markets more. Kamala can't even do shit about the stock market, and she ain't even spoke out about it. And he understands business. He stands on business every time because he knows how to understand how business works, stock marketing works. Like people keep forgetting he's a businessman.
Right. Absolutely. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now, y'all, we're gonna flip it again because I got away from this for a minute, but it's back.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get me a pizza.
All right, man. All right.
I'm gonna keep myself muted on here for a while until I get back. I'll be back.
All right, man. Go and get your pizza, man. I ain't trying to make nobody starve out here. It's okay. All right. So go ahead and do your thing. All right. So we're going to bring to you Lil Woody. Lil Woody's back. YSL trial.
I'm Judge Whitaker. I think you've been before me before in unrelated matters. I'm the judge taking over this case now. So go ahead and have a seat.
So a little bit of an update. They had to speak with Lil Woody to try to make sure that he had an attorney, blah, 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 and of course, we're going to get a lot of that and we're going to get a lot of, explaining, to him, a little bit, but, just look at the nuggets in between.
I want to ask you right now, I know that you have been given immunity with regard to your testimony, and there had been, at some point, you didn't want to testify. At some point, you did want to testify. The first question I have for you...
I know want to testify.
Okay. The first... Well, right. Want to is maybe the wrong term. But my question for you right now is, do you have an attorney at all?
I don't know.
You don't...
What? How do you not know whether you have an attorney or not? Man, this is hilarious, bro. Like, I don't know. Dang, that's crazy.
Know whether you have an attorney. I would think that would be a no then if you don't know whether.
I was talking to Melnick, but
Melnick?
yes.
Okay. Didn't he ask to be relieved as your attorney, and did you sign something saying that's okay, you can get out of this? You don't remember? Okay. Does anybody know whether that actually occurred?
Nobody knows.
This is like, though, like when you go to the doctor, and they want to ask you, about all of your medications, the name of them, and the dates that you took them, and everything else. This dude, he's sitting in here. He's got all these lawyers talking at him and everything else. He signed a bunch of shit, half of it, most of it, almost all of it. He doesn't know what the hell he's signing. They say, here, sign this, and you can go home. And so, he's had what, 2-3 different lawyers just in this case.
I honestly don't even think this guy know how to read.
Maybe that could very well be. But I'll tell you one thing, though, he's smart enough to know that if he says some shit, then they're probably going to throw him in the clink. And so
Right.
he ain't saying nothing until he has to say something. And man, I don't think he's clear even after, and I don't know if we want to sit through her whole explanation of
this is about
immunity.
This is about a 5-minute clip.
Yeah, but
check him out, man. This guy, man. This guy. Just real quick.
I don't believe it occurred. I believe that Miss
putting
Bumpus,
that camera behind her lumpy butt.
I know she's
should be another.
stand-in.
She was stand-in, and I believe something was said on the record to the effect that Miss Bumpus was relieved. But
yeah, I know she was.
There was nothing about Mr. Melnick to my knowledge.
Okay, maybe
There was. Miss Bumpus actually said yesterday, I believe, during her testimony, that Mr. Melnick had directed her to tell Mr. Copeland that he could either exercise his,
well, choose not to testify.
Right. Or if he chose to testify, according to Ms. Bumpus.
Yeah, I remember she said, there's this paper I'm supposed to get him to sign. I'm trying to figure out whether it got signed.
So I never got Mr. Melnick off my case.
Okay, so he's still your attorney then?
I guess.
Okay, all right. Well, then that's...
This man guessing and all type of shit. He's driving their asses crazy in that courtroom. He's driving them crazy. He's literally flipping the whole court system. He's caused more problems with this case.
I don't know that it's all him though.
It's not all him, but just his presence has fucked the case up.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I think he just kind of gave up on trying to follow what the hell's going on, because this woman here in the pink, Miss Love, district attorney, she has been arguing for the last couple of days about the existence or non-existence of Woody's attorney and the times and places that these attorneys, should have been, particularly concerning these 2 ex parte meetings, not one, but 2 ex parte meetings that happen without defense present and without Woody's defense present. And so they're in there trying to make deals with Woody, trying to get him to say certain things on the stand and threatening him with jail if he doesn't say those things. And that is why this is the real reason that I think we don't have genuine court recorder transcripts of either of these 2 meetings.
And at this point, this is where the jury being non-sequestered is a problem for the prosecution.
Well, yeah, because even we're not getting the whole story, and if we're watching the same things that they're watching, and so imagine this for a minute. Imagine that you have a prosecuting attorney who is threatening you with jail unless you say, these things, okay? It is not beyond these same prosecuting attorneys to also include in that, if you tell on us, you're going to jail. And so here's Woody, not the sharpest pencil in the box, caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's just trying to say nothing.
Absolutely nothing at all. I mean, seriously.
Yep. And if anybody caught like the recording where, and I see a lot of folks, they say, oh, Woody's in here talking to these cops and he's just diming everybody out. Or is he saying what he was told to say so that he could go home?
Hey, you know what? I got I'm trying to make sure that I pronounce this name right. Is that Xavier
Richard?
Yeah, so we're gonna call you Richard right now. But anyway, he's smarter than, you know what? I'm not saying he's dumb, because
I think he's probably about average.
But he said he dropped out of school, so there is a deficit in that. There's the amount of words that you can see on paper and just don't understand.
I think that he is smart enough to know that he's getting railroaded.
Absolutely. What they did in this particular instance is what they do in every particular case. They rounded
baby. This is Fulton County.
They rounded up the usual suspects. And they rounded up people that, didn't say nothing. They wanted their lawyer. They rounded up people that didn't have a lawyer, probably like Lil Woody at the time back.
Well, that's not exactly true.
I mean, but they rounded up the usual suspects. They do that. I mean,
no, they rounded up the suspects that Fannie told them to round up, because she was knocking boots with the dude from TSL back in the day.
Okay, so we'll say that, but
Mongo.
Pretty much he's one of the usual suspects that gets rounded up when anything happens. So he sat there and he said whatever the hell he had to say to, there are people in the hood, okay, that'll go to jail on Saturday night and be out on Sunday morning. And you wonder why. Because they said whatever the heck the policemen wanted them to say to keep from going to jail, get their ass whooped by the police, whatever the case may be. Trust me. So he didn't want to get beat up by the police or go to jail, and he got people in there that he got beef with that might try to shank him in the middle of the night. So they rounded up a fool that say, I'm going to say whatever it is. Okay, you want me to point at this person and tell you they was there? Yeah, they were there. And it's sad, but that's what probably happened to him. And I do believe that he lied about a lot of things.
I don't think he lied in court.
I'm just saying I think he lied in an interrogation room.
Yes. I think he lied to the prosecutors.
To go home.
Yes.
Don't nobody want to go to jail.
Nope. And then I think when he did that, though, that he was planning on recanting it later.
Yeah. And he is actually, I think that he's a big linchpin to this case.
I don't think so.
I do, because I mean, look at where the case is stopped.
Yeah, but I think he just adds chaos to it.
Now the problem is
they're not going to be able to use any of his testimony. By the time this is all done, his testimony is going to be it's not going to be worth anything.
And the problem that they say they got 100 more witnesses to call. You know how many ignorant fools that they rounded up and given immunity without them even knowing they signed an immunity deal?
Well, let's don't forget, though, that this is not a murder trial.
It's a racketeering trial.
That's right. It's a RICO trial, which means that they're going to bring in, just like they did for R. Kelly, just like they did for all of Trump's bullshit cases, they're going to bring in a bunch of people to talk about a bunch of bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with what he's accused of.
He hit somebody over the head in the bottle with a club at the club.
Yeah. He walks around naked in the apartment wearing a microwave on his head. It shows that he's with the devil.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Rico, man, is a bullshit.
It's bullshit. Bullshit. If you can't get him on the crime, then you're done, man. This is exactly the whole RICO thing needs to be thrown out, and I don't know why the Supreme Court hasn't weighed in on this.
I bet you, the Trump gonna work on that.
It needs to happen, dude, because it's garbage. It's complete garbage. Let's take nothing, and let's take a bunch of nothings and put them all together to prove criminal intent and put somebody in jail. That it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And they literally crapped on it in New York with R. Kelly.
Oh yeah, and Trump
crapped on it, and with Trump in Fulton County, just crapped on it.
Well, they're the only ones that have this stupid RICO law, aren't they?
It's a few states, but RICO for R. Kelly was the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life. He's a one-man enterprise.
Yeah.
He's literally a super Negro.
Well, but he owned a record label, and so that's how they turned it into a RICO.
No, he didn't. He didn't own no damn record label. He was with Sony.
That's an organization. That's an organization.
But they charged him with, basically, no one was charged with him. That's the problem.
Well, and that's the point that I'm making. And so, because it's all made up. It's all made up. They couldn't convict him of anything. And so they make up they put all these nothings together, and they throw in some shade with a bunch of character witnesses, broken girlfriends and that sort of thing. And then they come up with some kind of criminal intent. It's all garbage.
Right. And I would say outside of Trump, R. Kelly's has been the second most hated man in that I've seen.
Well, I think they might do the same thing to oh shit, who's that dude that just got raided?
Diddy. Yeah, Diddy is probably the third. Because they still play his music.
I think it's like that raid is a shot across the bow for him. It's like, hey, you need to get back in line.
Because if they ever decide to do a Diddy documentary, he is
It depends. I think, and I still maintain that Combs is better at playing the game, and I still maintain that a big piece of his security blanket went on that plane to Aruba when he popped up in Miami, all smiling for the camera.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is what actually happens. There was literally a public outcry in epic proportions to have R. Kelly locked up after surviving R. Kelly. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that. Yeah.
There was a public lock him up,
dude, you still run across people like that.
But I'm just saying I'm talking about legions of people.
Yeah, I get it.
Legion. I mean, the news, everybody, and you can see when the media says it, it is what it is. When the media puts it out there, it's like, oh yeah, well, they said over there on CNN. I knew CNN was crapping fake news, especially when Donald Trump was saying it. And when they got to talking about R. Kelly, I was like, good Lord, you watched the porn tape, lady, and it was child porn. Why aren't the police coming to arrest you? You're fake news. Absolutely.
And it used to be, they used to be better at it because it's like, one network would write their story about a thing and another network would write their story about a thing. But now they all get a copy of the same thing. MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, they all get a copy and read the same thing.
The crazy thing is because the left-wing media is Soros funded. Period. And they are owned by the same people. So you're going to get that. It's funny how all of a sudden everybody started calling Donald Trump and JD Vance weird.
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
But again, they're reading off of the same piece of paper. So they were given, their buzzwords.
Absolutely.
That's how propaganda works, man.
And the thing about it is, like I said, it's like wrestling. They can make anybody look any way that they want to at any given time. The media is dangerous.
If that chick at the Olympics it said blam blam, she said, "Okay, we're done."
Like fap, oh my nose, oh I can't.
Yeah.
Like since she never been hit that hard in her life, she's like, I'm about.
Well, that's what happens when you go in the ring with the dude.
Because the issue, the thing about it is with Olympic boxing, I don't think there's any. I haven't seen any knockouts.
I don't know. I can't. I don't think I've ever watched the Olympics in my life, and I ain't gonna start now.
Absolutely, we watch propaganda at the Olympics. And I was sitting up there, and I was so pissed because I was in a bar yesterday celebrating my birthday, and I was watching the Olympics, and then the Kamala Harris ad came up, and I'm like, fuck. I want to go home, where I can control this type of crap.
Yep.
Seriously, where I can actually, I have a little bit of say so over what the heck happens with my media. And trust me, I watch a little, I think.
You got to choose your propaganda, man.
Absolutely. But I know bullshit, and I do listen to Joy Reid and them every now and then because I have to. Every now
I can't look at her face.
I said, listen. I didn't say anything about looking.
Oh man, she just got just like a clown, like a rodeo clown, and she's just as scary smiling as she is scowling.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
So yeah, at the end of this, Lil Woody says to the court when they ask him, if he's going to testify, he's like, "I guess we'll just see when it happens, huh?" So I think
figure out if he can do it.
I think he watched what is it, Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, let's get to that part because that was one of the most hilarious shit.
I need you here like at 2 or 3 this afternoon.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
I think this is when he left and come back.
Whomever reached out from the state can reach you to let you know whether you need to be back here this afternoon or potentially tomorrow instead. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so that's not the one. When he came back, and his lawyer was confirmed. He was like, "I see how I feel when I wake up."
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, what else? Should he have said?
I see how I feel when I wake up. I mean,
because if he says no, I'm not going to testify, then she would just remand him right then and there. So he's just buying himself a few more days. I think he's planning to not testify.
He'd go down a hero.
I think he's planning to do the time until the end of this trial.
He'd come out of there a hero, man. You know that, right?
Yeah, he would. So, but, my guess isn't any better than anybody else's. He might go in there and, I don't know, just do the coo thing. I don't know. I don't know what he actually knows.
I feel like the way that they acting about this man's testimony, they really need it.
I think so too. I think Miss Love is desperate for Woody to say something that's going to help her prove her case.
After this, there's nothing else. Like with the 100 people, they need. I mean, they need it. It's like we need it because that's all y'all get. I mean, he's the only one that corroborated y'all's story because he was just trying to get out of jail. He didn't want to go to jail.
And actually, the best thing that I think could happen for even the DA's office, and even more specifically the court and the judges, is that he gets found not guilty. Because then there's no reprisal. It doesn't move on to another court. If he's found guilty after all the shenanigans that has happened in this trial, and he goes to jail and appeals to a higher court, there's a really good chance that it would be declared a mistrial. And then that judge, they'd start crawling up his bunghole, Judge Glanville. And so I think it's even in Judge Glanville's best interest that the state's case be weak.
Right. Because then Fanning shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, we've reached almost 2 hours, man.
Oh, man. We're at the 15-minute mark already. Woo! How time flies when you're having fun.
A little less than that, man. A little less than that. I wish that my Public Gate friend was, he just came out with a new video that I can't wait. I'm waiting for the Back to the Future thing. He probably had to rework the whole shit.
What? Oh, did they take it out or something? What happened?
I mean, they probably had to rework the whole part 2 because of what happened with the assassination. Because you remember that came out prior to the assassination.
Yeah.
So, and I got to go back and watch it just to see kind of where he was on that. But I'm like, Marty might do something silly in 2024 to cause this assassination. You might run into crooks or something. And then they have to, so they might have changed the space-time continuum. You remember that? I need to watch Back to the Future, man. At least.
Oh, they're actually, I think you can find them all on YouTube, free with ads kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I got a ad blocker, so thanks to noobs,
What? I would never pass that sort of technology on to people.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about there, buddy. Yeah, absolutely, man. But Trump's gonna win, man.
He's got to, man, because I think, there's gonna be huge problems if they try to cheat their way out of this. And I'm sorry, I don't care how many times they repeat the lie. We all know, even inside of the Democratic Party, that Kamala does not have the support that they're trying to generate. Even the betting sites, oh my goodness, their little lefty heads are just spinning around, man.
Yeah. But you know what? And it was crazy. I think that either way it happens, there's going to be some unrest, whoever wins.
Yeah, but my real concern is not as much as it is with the outcome as it is with
the fallout. Jeez.
Not just the fallout, but I mean, people don't trust the election. That's the thing. And if we see the same kind of shenanigans in this election or similar shenanigans that we saw to the last election, and it just goes unchecked again, with this bullshit standing rule that is not anywhere in the fucking Constitution, and none of this stuff gets addressed, then it's going to be a civil war, man. I mean, that's my biggest fear, is that we get to that point.
Right.
Because, man, yeah.
Yeah, that would hurt.
And so the cheaters need to stop fucking cheating, is what I'm saying, because they're the ones that are going to tear the entire country apart. And the thing of it is that they probably don't even care. So long as their bank accounts continue to get lined, the rest of us can go fuck ourselves.
Right. And that's it's all about, at the end of the day, the dollar bill, money, power,
resources, and the control thereof.
Yeah. And until people can actually realize that, but it's funny how broke people just don't know about it. They don't care.
Man, I don't know how we got into this thing. It was before I was born, where the federal government. Well, I guess it happened. During the Civil War is when they ironed out all that crap. Because, to me, if the oil is in your state, then it's the state's oil to control.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wouldn't be in the predicament that we are now. Because, you'd have certain states that would just, it's like, hey, we're going to do what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, how we want to do it.
Too much overwatch.
Yes, the centralized government, and that was the biggest fear, during the Civil War, is that the centralized government was just going to engulf and take power and control everything. And that is exactly what we're heading toward. We don't even have control anymore of these administrative, non-elected organizations who just make shit up without the consent of Congress, without the people. They just make shit up, make up these rules, and everybody just has to follow them. I mean, just think about going down to the DMV, all the hoops you got to go through. Who makes all this bullshit up?
Yep, and he's exactly right. The Interstate Commerce Act is exactly how they gain control.
Yep.
And that's how that's how they charge people. If they affect interstate commerce, that's when certain charges become federal. Ergo the RICO.
Well, the RICO is its own shady animal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, so you closing me out?
Yeah, I'm closing you out. What else you got? Let's get the show on the road.
No. We're actually here, and I'm actually on it. But, hey, so, of course, we're about to get up out of here. It's been about 2 hours, give or take. But, I do appreciate everybody that came into the chat, and everybody on Twitch who came into the chat and had some very profound stuff. Please come back. We do appreciate it. You can come over and subscribe to all of my channels. I'm available on X, Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Kick. We're trying to be everywhere. So, you can go to all of those spots and get in where you fit in.
And when we get our official secretary back, she'll come in and she will post all of those links for us because she has them.
Absolutely. But we're just cooling out tonight, man. It's my birthday week still. I'm only 1 day off from it, so I'm still feeling pretty good. But you all have a wonderful night. God bless you. We'll be back again on Sunday. Or, of course, if something happens that compels me to do something earlier.
Well, right. we might do a silent-ish live on Monday. Depending on what hoops we got to go through to watch Elon and Trump on X, and so if we can rebroadcast that with no problems or whatever, you might hear us a little bit on Monday.
Right. One thing before I do go, I do feel like that if there is a debate, one of the contentions that Trump should have is that you will not block any social media platforms that threaten them for streaming said debate. that would be one requisite I would love.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem if it's hosted by Fox News. I don't think.
Absolutely, because I play Fox News all the time. That's one prerequisite that I pretty much would love to have. And on that note, y'all, we got to get up out of here because we got to pay some bills and go to work in the morning. I'm sure you do too. Y'all appreciate everything y'all do for me. And we up out of here. Peace.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we get taken and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.